I'm Don Kors, and yeah, welcome to the channel. So we're in my new studio. I'll do a studio tour later. I'm not going to do it in this video. We're going to do it, yeah, you'll see. We'll do it later. Today, what I want to talk about is my pedal board. Now, I'm not into buying the big expensive pedal boards. Normally what I end up doing is buying lumber and then using the lumber to kind of build my own pedal. I just don't see the point in spending a bunch of money, especially like most professional boards are flat boards. Why are you gonna spend a bunch of money on a flat board? You go to Home Depot. Home Depot's got flat boards. I don't know. Doesn't make sense to me. So what I did buy though is I bought this gate. It's called the Gator. It's called the Gig Box by Gator Cases. All right, now the Gig Box by Gator Cases is really cool because it has this sweet guitar stand in it. And this guitar stand holds 3 guitars, 2 electrics, 1 acoustic. I don't really take an acoustic on stage, but that big blue one, or that pretty blue one, that one is my #1 guitar, and with the Bigsby tremolo on it, just kind of like leave it room out in front. So that all collapses down, it breaks down. And then the bottom of it is your pedal board. And the pedal board's really shitty. I'm not gonna lie, it's really bad. It came with this little cutout in the middle where the middle top of it, it has a cutout where the Gator Cases tuner goes. So if you have a different tuner, it's not gonna fit in that space. So you either have to get their tuner or you have to just kind of work with what you got. The next thing, it's got plywood, which I'm totally okay with, but over the plywood, what they put down was that like carpeting, like, I don't know. But the stuff, it's like super stringy. It's like gross to deal with. It collects hair and dirt real easy. I think I got it past the point of no return as far as dirty the very first time I took it out to a show. So yeah, not a big fan there. So what I did is I took some plywood. I measured down the piece of plywood so that it matches the one that I took out of there. I got some nice birch plywood. I cut it so that it fits entirely inside. And then I used some little blocks of wood to kind of truss it up. And then the next thing I did is I built some risers for some of those things because I've got these 90-degree cables, these 90-degree cables that I put in there, and the cables are, they have some clearance issues. So I just raised up two of the pedals. One of them is the Line 6 Helix. I raised that one up about ½ inch off the board, and then the other one is the patch bay. The patch bay has 90 degrees all in the back, so I just raised it up. I could have resoldered to a different one, and if I want to go that route, I still can. All I got to do is pull those blocks off. The next thing I did is I spray painted the whole thing, spray painted it all black, and then sealed it with some quick dry spray polyurethane. And then, yeah, I got my layout down correctly. Then routed my audio cables, did any soldering that I needed to do, routed my power cables. I had different length power cables, they all just so happen to work, so it doesn't look like a huge mess. I am using this One Spot Pro CS12. Now the One Spot Pro CS12 is a little too much firepower for this pedal board, but what I like about it is I can set up a sister board somewhere else, like when I'm in studio or something like that. Probably just when I'm in studio. I don't see any point in me setting up a sister board on a show. But if I'm in studio, I can set up a sister board and then patch in, because I still have a free patch left, and you know I can always run out of the tuner pedal into something, then back into the Line 6 or into the sister board, and then from there on into the whatchamacallit, into the deck, into the studio pre's or whatever. I don't know what studio guys, y'all know what that is. I don't have any idea. Anyways, so I like having the extra power options there. I can run extra pedals off of the same pedal board. It's all isolated. I don't have to have like a weird like daisy chain or something like that. And you know, there's plenty of power options on there, including like the 18 volts and all that stuff. So now we know what the power is. Let's go and talk about the pedals themselves. The first pedal in the chain is the tuner, right? So the guitar goes straight into the tuner. The tuner is in the volume pedal. Schnobel tone modded Dunlop volume pedal. And the Schnobel tone has the, it's like a polytune built into the volume pedal. So it goes straight into there. I'm not really sure if it has a buffer or not. I just think it does. Like, to my ears, it sounds like it has a pretty decent buffer. So, yeah. So it goes straight from there into the patch bay. Once it comes out of the patch bay, it goes into the Dunlop mini wah. I like that one because it's, you know, free bypass, and it fits on the board nicely. And then from there, it goes into my Hello Sailor Effects King of Tone. That's the one with the 50 cal shell that's like glued to it. It was really cool, and it's a good pedal. Like, the guy builds it out of like old parts. I don't know if it would be considered quite up to the standard that King of Tone has, but for the price, you can't really beat it. It is a clone of the King of Tone. From there, it goes into my Legion 8 pedal. Now, Legion 8 is a one-off that a buddy of mine who used to build amps and now builds pickups. He builds all my pickups for me. It sounds to me like a Marshall kind of overdrive, very musical compression. I don't know. It sounds super dope to me. After it goes from there, it goes back into the volume pedal. And it goes in the input of the volume pedal. So all of my gain stages go back into the volume pedal. And then it comes out of the volume pedal and into the Line 6 HX Stomp. The HX Stomp then takes care of all of my wet effects and also doubles as a backup for if an amp goes down, or if the stage is just too small to fit an amp, or if the venue's too small to be running an amp. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes the venue owner like prefers it, or a sound guy prefers it, where they don't want to run mic, they want your DI out. So, anyways, I go in there. There's nothing really complicated that I do in there. It's like I said, it's HX Stomp. I just use it basically for the wet effects, and sometimes I'll use it for an amp. And I can walk you kind of through how I do that here in a second. But then that comes out and it goes left and right back through the patch bay. So everything plugs in at the top of the pedal board. There's no like cables coming in and out of the pedal board, which is how it was set up. It was really gross looking and I didn't like it. But now it's set up, it looks nice, and I thoroughly enjoy it. All I normally use the HX Stomp for is my kind of always on wet pedals. I leave like a 60s bias trim on there. I leave that's the amp. I leave the 63 spring on, and those are kind of my always on. And then I have a compressor at the end. It's just the studio compressor. I just kind of let that kind of tie everything together nice and pretty sounding. The thing I use for effects, like actual stomp effects, I have the double take on there, and what that does is kind of like doubles your tone. You get a cool little ZZ Top kind of sound out of that one. And then the other one, this one's kind of cool. So I can't find a pedal that actually does this. So it's nice that this does this. So all it is an optical tremolo. I have it like just banked out at like 10, and then speed is pretty fast too. And what I do is it's set up to momentarily, so only when I hold the pedal down is it engaged. As soon as I let it go, it turns back off. So it's kind of thing. Yeah, anyways. And then the last one I have is a big reverb sound. the big reverb, and I put that after, pretty much after everything and right before the compressor, and then I can kind of swell in with the volume pedal to make like these cool big kick-ass tones. Anyways, so that's how I normally set it up. On the recording y'all are hearing, I also ran the keyboard through that, and I have in my studio, and I'll go a little bit more in depth on this, but it's a Yamaha P71 digital piano. Yeah. Yeah, I just come out of the headphone jack and come out of the headphone jack on the piano and go into my pedal board, and I use the pedal board to control effects. What I had on there was just like, it had like a Harman rotary, and that's all I used was that, and a reverb. I used like a room reverb or something real light. And that got my bass tone, and then for the keyboard. You can hold it right. You know, take it on the road. You know, that time on the world, it's on the way. Take it on your pain. Take it on the rest of the way. And then on the slide, I used, there's this guy, Alex something or another, I'll link his channel. I used his slide rig one, and I just kind of set up a little bit of tape delay and some reverb on the slide rig. I don't know, it's 2 studio compressors, just kind of lightly compressing your signal. So yeah, that is my pedal board. I hope you guys liked this video. I plan on doing a studio tour here in the not too distant future, and kind of walk you guys around what we have set up here. And then I'm going to do a shop tour. I have a new workshop and it's fantastic. I've got like a whole 4-foot by 8-foot workbench I get to work on, which is massive. It's amazing. Yeah, so look forward to that. I have a lot of projects coming up. I was gonna film how I did like the pedal board changeover, but I don't know, I didn't feel like it. I just felt like getting it done. All right, guys, I'm Dom Course, and thanks for hitting me up. If you liked it, let me know. Leave a comment, smoosh the like button, smash it. Whatever, I don't know. That stuff. Bye. Take 5 miles, you can hold it right. You know, take it on the road. You know,
stay. And I want you anyway. Ready to roll. And I'm ready to stay. And I let you go. But anyway. From the ashes to the ground, from the time I get around, you got away. Yes, anyway. Oh, where to find pearls in mine, but you won't. Oh, easy with me. And I hope to find another night, another time, another time.